Good afternoon. Today is the 21st of June. It's the longest day of the year, and here we are at the Atwell-Wilson Motor Museum in Calne for their sort of evening gathering. We've already done part one of the Slightly Shambolic Shuffle. This is part two. As I said last time, I do apologise for any wind noise, any incorrect information. If I fall over, if I make a hash of it, it's just the way that it goes on this channel. 2002 Morgan Aero 8 Series 1. Very controversial front end when these cars came out. This one's got the 4.4 litre BMW V8 in it. Apparently it's a Chrysler colour, this one. I mean, it does have a beige leather interior with wood and a 6-speed manual gearbox in it, but I would be a bit sort of concerned when I went around in this car. People would sort of point at it and sort of tell me they didn't like it, which is sometimes what we do with my other cars anyway, so maybe that's sort of a problem, but you know, that would be sort of my concern anyway. 1989 to 90 Audi 80 B3 Schon mit Katalysatortechnik. Excellent, viewers. One of the earliest cars on the British market to come with catalytic converter. The others would have been the Volvos at this time. B3s are very rare now. The later B4s, I think, probably a bit more of those around. B3s, very rare. MGC, as the little badge on the side of the car says, 1967-68 registration. 6-cylinder engine in these. Not the most successful car. It wasn't that much faster than the standard MGB, and also they were quite a lot heavier at the front, and we needed a bit of more clearance on the bonnet, hence the bonnet looks a bit different. Second generation Subaru Impreza. I think this will be the Hawkeye, won't it? 2007 to 2008 registration on this. Yep, there's the Hawkeye, classic colour of course. There's that bonnet bulge again. Reliant Robin. So Only Fools and Horses tribute van. The one in Only Fools and Horses was a Regal, not a Robin. This is quite an early Robin though. If it's anything like that, that kind of plate on the front in terms of its age, then it'll be sort of early to mid 70s. Mustangs, of course. This is a Mark II, a very late Mark II actually, with the body-coloured rear panel. 1977 only, because that's when we finished production, and S was 77-78. Manual with overdrive. Is this a vinyl or a leather interior, viewers? It's not a beige one, it is a sort of biscuit coloured one. We've got the alloy wheels on this one as well. Having driven one of these quite recently, it was a Mark I that I drove. I did enjoy myself very much. It was an auto one I drove. 1973 to 74 MGB Roadster. We finally got a review of an MGB actually coming up on the channel quite soon, because I've actually just been offered one to film in a couple of days' time, which will be fun. 1982 to 83 Lotus Esprit. This is the S3 version, I think. Such a typical design of the 70s, although this is an 80s car, by Giugiaro, of course. I wonder if he's friends with this person who's bought this Lotus XL. This is a very late XL. I think they finished in 1992, and if that plate is representative of the year of the car, it's a 91-92, with a sort of biscuit and leather and wood interior. This one it's quite classy actually. I think that's green, but it's a very dark green. It could be black. Answer the comment section below. I think we've seen this as 205 before. We're going to have to skip that one because we don't talk about diesels on this channel. Thank you, Mayor of London. Another Frog Eye Sprite. There's tons of these here. This is the third one actually that's here. It's got a much later gearbox in it. Maybe that's got synchromesh on it. Originally they wouldn't have had synchromesh on it, so that's obviously been modified a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if it had a larger engine in it as well. I think this is a Ford Model A, but I could be totally wrong. My knowledge of pre-war cars is virtually non-existent, so I really couldn't tell you. Well, I can tell you, it's got a dicky seat in it, which is being used to store various comestibles. Honda Beat. On an L, so 1993 to 1994. These were not imported officially, I don't think, over here, unlike the Suzuki Cappuccino. And it's got very similar stalks to the ones in my Rover 45, although they switched round though, because the 45 is based on the early 90s Civic. But I like the colour, the dark green, very appealing to me. And we've got a Mini Marcos. That's a bit low, viewers. I think I'd struggle getting in and out of that. 1975 to 76. So unbelievably low. That's crazy. What's this? It's some kind of Chrysler Corporation car. Judging by those door handles, it's from the late 50s, I think. It says Pioneer on it. I don't know what brand that's sort of under. The front of it was no doubt to say Dodge Pioneer. I didn't even know those existed, viewers. Right, let's go over here. I'm afraid we're going to have to skip the motorbikes. I don't know anything about them, so we're going to have to skip those, I'm afraid. Let's go on to some cars that are over here in the shade, which is most welcome actually. Now let's just check the rev counter of this Jaguar S-Type. I'm glad I did, because we now have to move on. Thank you, Mayor of London. Right, okay. NAMX5, UK car, not a UNOS. Straight away you can sort of tell by that number plate aperture, with the kind of earlier Mazda logo that's been changed. I think we changed it in 1998. It's in very nice condition, this actually. I love the colour of this. That's very, very nice. And then next to it, TVR Chimera, I think this is, with the the door handles in the wing mirrors, of course. Cream leather interior with what is it beige or is it cream? I don't know. I think I'll go for cream. Which I can't get too excited, but I do like that very much. That is very nice. I think this is a late Chimera, so maybe sort of 99, 2000, something like that. So Bentley Mark 6 or an R-Type. I don't know actually which one of those it is. The R-Type and Mark 6 are very similar. The R-Type is a later version. It doesn't actually say which one of those it is, so I'm just going to, well, being ignorant. Another one of these 2CV. There's an almost identical one of these actually that we saw in the first part of this video we did. This one's an 87. The Special was not really that Special. It was one of the sort of lower end for these. This one, does it actually say it was made in Portugal? No, not quite. It's not quite a Portuguese built one. It's too early for that. But yeah, there we go, with rear seat belts, because by 1987 you actually needed those by law in this country. Another Lotus Excel, dark green with a beige leather interior and wood as an automatic. Ooh, viewers, now that is the sort of specification we like. We like very, very much. It very much appeals to me, this sort of thing. Actually, that plate, well, it's a personal one. I think that is correct year for the car, which is good. What's this? 1936 Peugeot 201. I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. I think I might have seen this in a book, something like this. But this is a pickup. It was a panel-sided van originally, but it's sort of like a homemade pickup body on it. Typical sort of re-registration, of course, imported over from France. MG Midget 74-75 registration. Have a look and see if we've got the Triumph engine or the original A series in there. I'm not actually sure. Remember chrome bumpers, so I think this might just be a late 1275. But I could be wrong, as I often am. Oh, someone's put some nice plates on here, but tell me what it is. A 1930 Chrysler 77 Royal Coupe. Again, knowledge of pre-war American cars is terrible, so I don't really know. Apparently this is it's got a straight six in it, but we've got boot and boot. You've got, if your boot's not big enough, and you can put stuff in the back. A literal trunk. Land Rover Series 2 versus the Series 2 or Series 2A. I've absolutely no idea at all. Oh look, information sheet. Oh, it's just a Series 2. It's a genuine Series 2 from 1960. Series 2A was far more popular. It was made for about 10 years. And then a very late Mini Cooper from 2000. Bit of kind of paint fade on there. It's not a problem though, just still soon bring that back. One of many minis here. So the Jaguar Enthusiast Club have a little section here. This is actually not a Jaguar, it's an auto-tune Aristocat. There we go, Aristocat. The registration date says 2019, but I suspect it was based on an earlier type of Jaguar. It looks like an XK150 or something like that, but my kind of suspicion is this is a Series 123 XJ underneath. Something like that. Certainly a lot of the instruments look like they're out of one of those. But yes, it's a much cheaper way into XK150 ownership without owning a real XK150, of course. Jaguar E-Type Series 1 4.2 litre. See if we've got an information sheet here. It's a Series 1.5. It's a, oh wow, it's a 68, and it's been converted to right-hand drive. One of the ways you can turn to the Series 1.5 straight away is it's not got headlamp covers, but again, when these were made for the American market, they were taken off, and it should technically be called an XKE if it's an American one, but you know, there we go. Oh, viewers, now this is very special. 1992 to 1993 Jaguar XJS, complete with a beige leather interior and wood. Very nice. I wonder what engine's in this. Okay, it doesn't say V12, so I'm guessing that's just a straight six, and they're probably a 4 litre, which is what I prefer anyway. 1967-68 Jaguar S-Type 3.4. Oh, and more beige leather interior action with wood. Tasty. I wonder if you got synchro mesh on first in this one. A lot of the ones with a Moss gearbox back in the 60s didn't get synchro mesh, but you know, there we go. Oh, this one's for sale. That's dangerous to use. 1996-1997 Jaguar XK8. It says supercharged. No. It's not. Oh, it's got fabric bits in it, so it's not the complete leather interior, but it looks nice anyway. Jaguar 420, just sort of like a. It was like a 4.2 litre version of the S-Type, but essentially with a different front end. And they made these two at the same time. As you can see, they're both on 67-68 registrations. The model range of Jaguars before the XJ6 came in 1968 was very confusing. And we've got an XJSC. This will be a late one if the last one was made in 88. This one's 97. Yeah, I prefer the later convertible ones without the sort of targa top thing, or the earlier ones like this. Answers in the comments section. 2004 to 5 Jaguar XKR convertible with a cream leather interior. Interesting. Yeah, definitely looking very, very supercharged with that front end. XJ40 in dark green with a fabric interior. It's a beige interior, but a fabric interior. We've got wood though, and it's a manual. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? Is this like a sort of really basic one or something? Yeah, just as XJ6. Yeah, quite a basic one then. Weren't many manuals of these actually made. 1991 registration. I think this is an XK 120. So it looks like it, doesn't it? Well, this has got a beige leather interior with wood. You always can tell with the Jaguars that you'll see lots of beige leather interiors and wood, and also maybe a friend. He's a bit upset though because he's on his back. But yeah, this is I presume about 54, something like that, because it's got the Le Mans winner badge on the back, 51 to 53. BMW is Zeta, about 1960. These built in like Brighton or something. Can't remember now. Answers in the comment section. Another MGB GT, 1973-74. This one's had a beige leather interior put in it, and I approve very much. Also, someone has got a Panama hat, which always makes car shows more interesting, because I wear one myself at the 1953 Land Rover Series 1 80-inch. As basic as they come, isn't it? But nevertheless quite interesting. Milk churns in the back. 1972-73 MGB GT V8 Sebring. Ooh, commission number whatever it is. I wonder if that's an original sort of Sebring racing one. 91-92 Unos Roadster. This is a manual. I've driven an automatic Unos Roadster actually. And we've got another Mini here, originally in Mayfair, although it's been painted since then. 88, 89. We have to skip my Defender views because it's probably not got the engine we can talk about in it. 1965 Ford Cortina Mark I, with a very different interior from standard and probably quite a lot of modifications, I would say. Yeah, Santa Pod sticker, must be quite fast. Mark III Capri, but with an LS3 engine in it. So hello to LS_3 Capri on Instagram. That's not the 1.6 Pinto, is it? I heard this earlier on and it made quite a noise. Bit more than this 2001 to 2 Mitsubishi Shogun Pinin. And before you start writing in the comments section, yes, I know, I've watched the review on the High Peak Autos channel. GDI, by the way, stands for gasoline direct injection. It's something to do with a forbidden fuel engine. 2009 Alfa Romeo Spider. I think underneath these were similar to the either Brera or the GT, which were made at the same time. I reckon, difficult to say, this is probably a 2.2 JTS engine, although I could be totally wrong about that. Interesting Mini here, Mini 1001. I don't know what engine that would be. 87, 88 registration on this. Very heavily modified. Obviously from Croker and Bridger, as all Minis seem to be these days. Another Austin Healey Frog Eye Sprite. Again in this sort of powder blue colour. Very original looking with the correct hubcaps as well. 2004 to 5 facelifted MG ZT 190. Again, I've filmed so many of these 75s and ZTs on the channel. That'll be very fast, the 190. Porsche 911 Turbo. See if I can get the generation right just by looking at the front of it. I think it's a 997, but I could be wrong. Oh yes, even more valuable than that Porsche. Ford Sierra RS Cosworth hatchback. Is this an RS 500? No, RS ELE, wouldn't know what it means. Nevertheless, it's increasing in value as I'm looking at it, of course. 86, 87. MGTD, I believe this one is. Yeah, maybe a TD, be about 1950, 51. 1976 to 77, Saab 96 V4 with the most incredibly 70s coloured seats I've ever seen in my life. Extraordinary. Morris Minor. It looks like an early one, this, with those sort of things on the back. This might be a really late series MM actually, with the wings, including the headlamps. The early MMMs didn't have that. They're in the grille. Second generation Jaguar XK. Don't know what year this is. I think it's a pre-facelift, so mid to late 2000s, just a 4.2. Another one of these 916 Alfa Romeo. This one's a Spider. I forget the name of his colour. I don't know if that's a V6 or a twin spark actually. Oh, viewers. 1971 to 72 Fiat 130 Coupe. And look at this interior. Oh, it's an auto as well. It's one of the best looking cars of the 70s in my opinion. Some people don't like them, but I do. I think that's fantastic. Austin 7, so very early Mini. I think I've seen this before at a show somewhere. This will be, oh, there's the certificate. It is a 62. So it is an early one, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. And the colour, the contrast is an incredibly late one of these. Registered probably 2001, but made in 2000. I think this is a Cooper Sport, like 500 or something. No, it's a Sport. This is a Cooper Sport. Works. It is a. Thank you. It is a Cooper Sport 500. I was right the first time. Yeah, I can see it on the side. Thank you very much. Yeah. Austin 1100, Mark 1 67, just before the Mark 2 came in. I've driven one of these actually, Mark 1 like this. That's very nice. Terrible rust, of course. 1994, 1995 Fiat Barchetta, early Barchetta, based on the first generation Punto. It was one of the very first ones in the country then. I think they came out in 95, so one of the very earliest ones. MGB GT. Oh, it's a V8. Don't know what year that is. That's been kind of modified, hasn't it? Anyway, so you know, it's got bonnet vents and all that sort of stuff. Right, we'll have to have a look at that later, but we can have a look at this MGR V8 because this one, I think, I might have seen before at something like the Post-Aboriginal Weekender event last July. Dark green, beige leather interior, wood, and good old Metro window winders. Still wouldn't put me off having one though. I can figure I can wire my own windows if I own an MGR V8. I'll just skip that Saab, but here we have a Morris Oxford. This is a Series 6 with the 1.6 B series. 1967-68. Don't see too many of those at shows actually. Ooh, a Ford Granada Scorpio. This is a Mark III facelift one. Ooh, this is good, viewers. We like that. It's an auto. I imagine this is the 2.9 engine in this one. Just before they made the Mark IV 92, 93. I like that, viewers, very much. Chevrolet 3100 pickup with some enormous engine in it. Probably got a supercharger in there or something. Ooh, an Austin Healey Sprite Mark II, 1963. When I was at the nostalgia show last weekend, I saw another one of these. It was in this colour, but it was a Mark IV, and it was just an Austin Sprite, so one of the absolute sort of last one. This is an early one, comparatively speaking, 63. Sherpa 215, I hope this has got a petrol engine in it, viewers. 1977-78. What are those wheels on that? Or just hubcaps or something? I don't know. Certainly on the sort of earlier side of the spectrum for a Sherpa, with just Leyland written on the front of it. Right, that Ranger we're going to have to skip because of the engine in it. 1985-86 Citroen 2CV. Another Special, but it's a Dolly. It's an early Dolly then. Morris Marina, excellent. 1.8 Super, 1974-75 registration. With the sort of early dash. I think this is the, I think they call them the Mark 1 or Series 1 Marina actually, this early one. Oh, an Aston Martin DB24, I think, something like that. Aston Martin DB24. Something like that. 1968-69 MGB with an automatic gearbox. That's rare. That's not an aftermarket conversion, probably. I think it's a factory auto, but I could be wrong about that. But they did make some. Oh, well, sorry. I'm sorry. It's MGC. Keep getting caught out by those. I do apologise, viewers. So I apologise at the beginning of every single video. 1990-1991 Mercedes-Benz W126 S-Class with a beige leather interior and wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior, and that's a 420 SE. I approve very much. This is a Daimler. I don't think it's a Conquest or anything like that. I think it's a little bit too early for that, but I don't actually know what year this is. Who knows? I should scan that, but I haven't got time to scan that. I've got to shambolically shuffle my way around. It's actually on Vauxhall Citroen. Re-registration, import, I'm not sure about that one. Very, very late Morris O-Type or Morris 600 weight van. One of the very last, built 71, registered over 71, 72. That looks absolutely fantastic. Presumably ex-GPO. That looks great, doesn't it? It's brilliant. So look at the back of the Citroen once. Thank you. I'll look inside first before you look at the back of the Citroen then. Look at all this stuff. That must have
kitted out as in the 70s as it was for an engineer.
That must have taken a long time to do that. There's the back of a Citroen there. And oh, E34 BMW. Is this an M5 by any chance here? Or does it just look like one? It's got an Alpina gear lever in it. Who knows? I don't. Another Cobra replica here. Maybe a DAX, maybe something else. I'm not entirely sure actually. Maybe somebody in the comment section below can tell me. And then we've got the penultimate section for now. I mean, we'll add more on later, but 1980 to 81 Mini. I think this is like a City or something, or maybe even just a Mini 850 or 1000. It's a very basic, wasn't it? Ford Capri 2.8 injection, 1985 to 86 registration, with pepper pots on it. Excellent. I remember driving a Capri 2.8 injection. It was a much earlier one. This was an 82 4-speed. The brakes on them are a bit shocking. That's why people used to fit upgraded brakes from a Princess, which were better, and more tasty Fords. 1979 to 80 Ford Granada Mark II with, I think that's for Calne V6 in it. Hello to Peeps _ Mark II on Instagram. 2.3 GL, fantastic. 2.3 is a great engine actually. Another MG here. This is, I think, a sort of pre-war one.
undergraduate after the national service, and I think just got invited to every party.
So it's been also restored. That's probably, I don't know, 1930. Another Cub replica here as well. Right, we'll take a little break now, and we might come back a little bit later. It's amazing, we're 3 hours into the show and there's still things arriving. There's also things leaving. That Fiat 130 Coupe that was very nice is left, for example. And this Mercedes 420 is just on its way out as well. What a really nice, smooth sounding engine. Wow. 1990-1991 big bumper Mark II Golf GTI. Don't know why it's missing the driving lamps in the middle of the grille, but there we go. Just the 8-valve version. We'll go to this row here because there's quite a lot more stuff now here than there was earlier on. So early 50s Cadillac here. XS is a kind of suffix on here that's quite commonly used at the moment for re-registrations of cars being imported. So this is quite a, I think, a recent import. It's a 51 Coupe de Ville Series 62. Imported in 91. I expected that to be a much a later import, but I'm probably wrong as I am about so many things, viewers. So Mark III Escort van with RS turbo wheels. Does this mean it's got an RS turbo engine in it or something? Or it's just somebody put the wheels on? Who knows? 1966 Land Rover Series 2A. Morris Minor 1000 with the wipers that meet in the middle, clap-hand wipers, so maybe a 948, I don't know. About 60. Massey Ferguson tractor. Does this have a plate on it, viewers? I'm going to have to just guess what year this is. No. Oh, hello. 1990-1991 Vauxhall Senator 3-litre 24 valve CD. I mean, I wish it didn't have those black wheels on it, viewers. It's not really to my taste. Obviously, it's the owner's taste. But apart from that, that's pretty good. Is it a manual? This one? No, it's an auto. Probably most of them were. The police spec ones would have been manual. Another couple of these Chevy pickups. I imagine that's a 55. This one's probably about the same sort of time. The Apache. The other one, who knows? I don't know. Another Cobra replica with sort of cream seats in that one, and then a Mini Clubman Estate. 80 to 81 registration, different wheels and things. Probably had a performance upgrade or something, I imagine. Some nice driving lamps. Oh, viewers, a Rover SD3. Yes, please. This looks like a pre-facelift one as well. 85-86 plate. I'll have a look at the back and we'll see for certain. I've actually driven a 213S like this. Yeah, this is the earlier one, isn't it? With the higher boot sill. Yeah, that's it. The rust on this is really not as bad as some of them. That was the biggest problem with these, was the rust. Great little 1.3 Honda engine, sweet gearbox, very nice to drive. Not the most room in the back, obviously. Before you say it, yes, I know they have one in keeping up appearances. I've already made the joke about it. One of these days we will do a video on the cars that keep up appearances, but yes, it's the kind of thing we like, viewers, although I prefer a 216 Vanden Plas EFI. That would be better, wouldn't it? 2000 Vauxhall Corsa B, very late Corsa B with some interesting wheels on that. It's got a Opel badge on the front and back as well, but it might still have the 1.2 16 valve engine in it. That I think is the Family Zero engine, but it could have something else in it. Who knows these days. Another one of these Volkswagen campers, 86, 87 registration. This will be a water-cooled one. Mercedes, I think these are for W124, these wheels. Strangely, you just bolt Mercedes wheels onto a Volkswagen, but there we go. Capri 2.0 injection with pepper pot wheels, 83, 84 registration. Type 9 gearbox, 5-speed in this one. With a big body kit. 1975 to 76. MGB GT with, I think this is a Jubilee edition actually. It's an early rubber bumper, this one. And it looks a bit weird, rubber bumpers under the silver on black plates. Not my preference to have silver on black plates in a car after 73, but there we go, that's just my preference. This Hilux, I don't know if we can talk about this actually. It's probably not got an engine we can discuss. Thank you, Mayor of London, once again. And an NB MX-5 2001. These are good fun. I have driven one of these actually in 2019. It seems like an absolute age ago, which is, you know, like Genesis almost in channel terms. But yes, I have driven one of these. The biggest problem with these is they rust, but that one looks really good actually. Back in nice familiar territory with this Rover R8. Interesting, it's got the earlier indicators, but the later sort of rear. 214, wow, so this will be ultra basic then. Windy windows and all sorts of things. I wonder if somebody's fitted. The grille is not correct, the car shouldn't have that grille, it only appeared in late 93. I think this is a 92 actually, because it's not got the later indicators on the front, so it's probably 92 I'd say only, but a lot of people modify them and put the grille in. It's not a big massive problem really, it's just that's not quite how it would have come. The ball bay wheels are enormous. I bet those sort of rub the arches a little bit. Same colour as the R8 I used to have actually, and the interior is similar, but it's all down to sort of preference really, isn't it, as to what you want to do with your car. And you know, my opinion is a subjective one, of course, like everyone else's. Over here they have this mobile sign, but when we came here initially back in February, we saw that the prices of the fuel, in fact it says switch on here, and it's got National Lottery symbol, would date this to the mid-1990s I think. And there you go, 63.9p a litre. I wish fuel was still that cheap. But yes, you can win this car for £1. I think you can go on the website, there's Fuzz Townsend there, and win this 1992 Mini City. It's a late carb one actually, this. It's the last year that they actually made the carb models. I almost forgot this Marina had arrived. It's a very early Marina. It's I think it's 72 actually, this one. It's the absolute top of the range. It's the 1.8 TC Coupe, and that is delicious as far as I'm concerned. That is amazing. And look at that original spec interior as well. The later Marinas have a different dash, such as the one I drove, a 79 Marina I drove. That is that is very special, isn't it? That's brilliant. 1974 to 75 Jensen Interceptor Mark III. That is absolutely amazing. It's a biscuit interior, I think, rather than a beige one. I have the big Chrysler V8 in this. That's amazing. Oh, viewers, I didn't see this coming. I've got a Saab 99, and it's an early one. It's an early pre-facelift. That's a 72, 73. It's an L. That is Beautiful. Right, I think that is it from the Atwell-Wilson Motor Museum. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. And say goodbye, Mr. Bill.
Goodbye, Mr. Bill.
Thank you, sir.